Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. 3 Hues Painting Studio. Come paint, sip, and party at 3 Hues. Visit our website today at 3hueshouston.com.
Welcome back to another episode of Intermission. Back, finally. I'm your host, Jarvis Ziggy Newsom. You can find me all across social media at Ziggy Numbnuts. I'm not going to spell it for you. Just watch and see how it is. And co-host, the beige Johnny Cage, Howard Drum. Boom! Sun's out, guns out.
What's up, everybody? You can find me, of course, at Howard_Jerome on Instagram, or you can get me on Facebook at Howard Jerome.
Oh, the Snapchat. What's your Snapchat?
Wait, I forgot, actually. I always fucking forget.
We'll figure it out and tell y'all later. Just make sure you check out the full.
I might have to make one just for Intermission.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. I might do the same thing.
Yeah, because, we go see a lot of movies and have a lot of interesting day-to-day interactions with stuff.
Right.
We're constantly posting stuff on Facebook and everything that we see. We might as well interact with people in live in real time.
Right. Now, before we get started, I also want to send out an apology to Michael Newsom. We were supposed to be a guest on a past show, and we just had our times mixed up, So, Mike, we'll try to get your Skype in, get this going, because I know you're a big comic book movie guy. I know we grew up together, so we both almost entered the industry at the same time. So
just reserve your calendar. Be ready for Black Panther.
I'm thinking we might get him in like after the Defenders. Once the Defenders drop, I think we might get him in and see what he says.
Yeah, I feel like these last few weeks have been hectic. We're recording on a Thursday. It's 6 o'clock and it's still sunlight outside.
No, you know what's
I might
crazy?
go barbecue after this.
You know what's crazy? To me, the summer movies have started off sort of weak.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Nye? Sitting over there at the deck.
Yo.
Oh, she got the regulars watching us. Appreciate that.
Nice. So what I think, though, is that I wouldn't say so much as slowed up. I think what they were doing is that, so we always talk about the schedule and everything of movies and how, typically in the fall is when the movies
slow down.
Yeah. And I think what they're trying to do is get around that. Because, now we just had Spider-Man and we've got Planet of the Apes. These are, later box office hits. And I think some of the movies that were supposed to be box office hits, like Transformers and all that crap, I think people are starting to wisen up and they've been listening to our podcast, so now they know these movies are garbage. They're listening and learning.
Well, I'm like this, and I'll say this, and I've been meaning to say this probably on the show for a while now. Y'all hear me talk about certain directors, even certain movies.
Now we all know he just came back from traversing the universe with Zack Snyder.
Certain actors, and the reason I talk about this because I'm giving you money. I'm basically paying for the service of being entertained.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fucking 60-year-old kid.
See, but that's also kind of the mentality that when it comes to actors and stuff, is if they're doing us a favor, no, we are paying your salary. Dance.
Exactly.
Dance for me.
Puppets.
Yeah. But yeah, man, so we've got one of my favorite actors. Well, go ahead.
Oh, well, no, go ahead, because that's exactly what I was going to go to.
So we've got interesting actor. He's actually been in the news the last, few months and everything, but, Brad Pitt, man.
Most people don't realize he's got the catalog that he has.
Yeah, there was actually, when I was going back and we were having this discussion, looking at some of the movies that he's actually in, and I was kind of like, damn, dude, he was in that movie.
And dang is, I couldn't even put all of it on the pictures because I'm just like, it's about another good 10 movies that I had to say, I just couldn't make I didn't put 12 Monkeys in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, But
one of the things that always trips me out about Brad Pitt is that his versatility, for one.
Yeah.
But like when people start talking about like great actors, I've never heard anybody just say Brad Pitt, and
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, like here you got him for Interview with the Vampire, and then him as was it Mickey Blue Eyes, and then Aldous the Apache, and then over here in Snatch, and dude, Seven had to be one of the best ending lines in a movie ever. What's in the box?
Like, oh God! Yeah. You got Benjamin Button. Yeah. I think that was one of the most different roles I've ever seen him play.
And so here's the funny thing is that in my head,
yeah,
I've always pictured that it was some other actor that was Benjamin Button, and I just sounds bad, but I've always for some reason assumed it was like in my mind I picture Matt Damon as being Benjamin Button, and I don't know why that is, but even when I was looking at this, I was like, he didn't play Benjamin Button. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, sure enough,
the guy plays. You can almost throw him into any role.
Yeah,
because he had this new Netflix movie out.
Oh, the Warzone one.
Yeah, the War Daddy or something like that.
Yeah.
And I said I want to check it out because it looks silly. It's looks like it's one of those movies he's having fun with. Mm-hmm. Sort of like Ocean's 11. You know, you can tell he had fun with it.
And one of the interesting things is that so I was reading, actually, I think you might have tagged me in this, or somebody tagged me in it on Facebook.
Yeah.
It was an article about Brad Pitt, because, he's been going all through stuff with, like, Angelina Jolie and all this stuff.
Well, he just got out of rehab.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then, like, you would assume that an actor who is, like, looked at as, like, Hollywood royalty, all this money and all this, would just come across as a douche. But when you read the GQ the article, I actually read it. It's, like, 3 pages long, and I actually read the whole thing. And I was like, dog. Brad Pitt, he's like a really cool guy.
He does.
He just comes off as like real humble and everything, and it's like, it's funny because it literally shows his character is just like his roles in movies. Like you can't pin him down. Like he's got so much versatility and everything. That's like it's hard to kind of just say, oh, he's this way and that way. Haters.
I don't know what Clinton's talking about, but thanks for checking us out, Clinton.
Yeah,
Nine says Travis, one of the bar regulars at the deck, votes for 7.
Nice.
A lot of people voted for 7. 7's like a can't miss movie.
Yeah,
it really is. But so is Snatch.
Yeah, but I'd still say honestly, my favorite role it's still Fight Club. I mean, that's one of my movies of all time. I mean, like I said, and in my bio, I mean, it even talks about how this movie is one of the movies that helped me get into character development. It's like, and pay so much closer attention to it. Troy actually is not really a movie that I'm actually a very big fan of. It's so many people are.
It's probably to me one of the weaker ones.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like he was forced in that movie. I don't necessarily say it's acting, but it felt like it was forced.
So Clinton's talking about the love child of Robert Redford. Robert Redford and who else though?
Hey, but
I can see that.
Hey, but you know what? He was in a movie with Robert Redford, The Devil's Own, where he played the Irish terrorist.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I want to know who the other half of this love of these parents are, because that'd be interesting. I'm curious. I can definitely see the Robert Redford one, but.
Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of also trying to figure out this whole haters comment too.
But yeah, man, it's just this guy. He's done a lot, and like you said, I don't understand why he's not considered a top. Like most people say, well, he's a pretty face. You look at the roles he done. He gets dirty in his roles. He's not just like, oh, look at me. But back to something you said.
Damn, he played a gypsy bare knuckle boxer.
Right. He took out his own caps for Fight Club.
Yeah.
He took the caps off his sleeve. Marcus Griffin, thanks for joining us, man.
What up, Blair? But that was actually one of the best punch scenes ever though. In Snatch. Like he's got some like solid scenes, and it's like, dude, he got literally leveled. Yeah. Knocked off his feet. Just
now, back to something you said in the GQ article, they talked about how he is just in his personal life. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine said she was in New Orleans. He just rides around his motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he'll stop for coffee, sit outside with a newspaper and a beignet.
Yeah.
And people, oh my God, he was like, just please don't don't make a big deal out of this. And I'm like,
just a regular guy. He's got more money than you.
I've been Death, Achilles. I've been an imaginary character.
Yeah. I aged backwards.
Right. Just trying to enjoy my coffee here.
Oh, dude, Mr. and Mrs. Smith has to be one of the most entertaining movies. Like, it's a really kind of a dumb movie, but that's one of the movies. Like, if it's on, I'll sit down and watch it.
You know what? I realized it's just talking to some of the lady audience. most women don't like that movie because of what happened outside the movie.
Oh, with them cheating on their significant others.
Yeah.
But also, it's kind of interesting to see that they
that's right.
end up getting married. But,
Harrison Ford, he did the spy movie with Robert Redford. Yes.
Yeah. What game was that?
Like I said, he's acted with heavyweights, and he holds his own. So, yeah.
For a second, I thought you just said, I was reading the scroll, the feed here. For a second, I thought you said he was in heavyweights. And I was like, no, he wasn't in heavyweights. That's a childhood movie of mine. I know for sure he wasn't in heavyweights.
Right.
Dude, what if he played that role versus Ben Stiller? That'd be fucking hilarious.
But the thing is, Brad is the kind of guy who would take that role.
Yeah.
Just for the fuck of it.
What movie was better than the original?
Marcus, what movie is better than the original? Let us know which one you're talking about. But guys, let me just lay a rule out here for this. When you guys want to talk to us on Facebook Live, can you guys put like complete thoughts? Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. All right, yeah, gotcha. Like because you guys know, like it's Facebook Live, but we get the feed a little bit after we say a comment. So I was confused. By that, right. Like we're trying to interact with you guys, but strategic.
Especially Marcus, dog. You say something I don't like, man. You know, for y'all who didn't catch last week's episode, that's he was a guest on it. There you go. But we're gonna have to have this fool back on here, man. Argumentative ass dude, man. Put him side by side with Redford. Yeah, he definitely does. Like, there's no dispute about that.
Like, honestly, Great Gatsby, it was a decent movie with Aaliyah.
I hated that movie.
I think it was a little, but that's Baz. He goes over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brad Pitt would have done pretty well in that role.
See, this is one of the roles where, like with Leo, I'm like, yo, you just weren't that charismatic in it.
Yeah,
which is something you don't normally say.
Yeah,
but I think definitely having Brad Pitt in there a little bit would have been a little bit better.
Yeah, but I mean, it took a lot of money to make that movie, and that's what Baz does. He goes over the top with the money. And speaking of money, the portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your own complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services. And Bass could have used that for Great Gatsby because, again, he screwed that up with the Get Down.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that. I can't believe, they canceled because of how much it costs per episode. That's insane.
How's a show like that costing more than Game of Thrones?
Yeah, something that has world building in it.
Right. That goes to separate countries. It has at least 2 filming crews, at one point 3 filming crews.
And dragons.
And dragons.
But
and ice zombies.
So I thought about this when we first were talking about Brad Pitt and everything. Like, if he were to be in a Marvel movie, what character do you think he would play?
Brad Pitt in let's take Marvel. Let's just say comic book.
Yeah, comic book. Well, I'm thinking more so like, first off, we'll make it easier. Superhero or a villain? Who would he be?
You know what? I want to see him do a bad guy.
Well, he's done a bad guy before.
Yeah.
Fight Club. Yeah. Fight Club. He was definitely a bad guy.
Yeah.
Captain America.
12 Monkeys.
All right.
Hey, 12 Monkeys. He was sort of a bad guy.
Sentry. I can see that.
Sentry is a good one. Yeah. That was a damn good one.
But see, that's the thing with him. I can't really tell if he would be a villain. Like, I feel like he'd be more of an anti-hero than anything.
Well,
that'd be the role.
How do you feel about how well do you know your DC characters?
Pretty good.
You know Booster Gold?
No. So maybe not that good.
Okay. That
was quick.
He's part of Justice League, and he's got this real big ego with his powers.
Yeah.
Because he comes from the future. I think Booster Gold would probably be a good Brad Pitt role.
Yeah. Marcus, I'm going to have to disagree with you. There's no way he would play Two-Face. He doesn't have that kind of, like, duality about him. And, like, Two-Face's whole essence is that he's got a duality where he's always fighting between
Marcus said it. Yeah, he would be a great Booster Gold. But
sure.
Now, I don't know how much you know your comic books, But also,
Right now I'm 0-1. So
you know who Mr. Sinister is?
yeah, of course, dude. He's gonna be in the what you call it?
Oh, he's in. That's who they going with.
Yeah. All right. So when they had the case.
Oh, Clinton. That's a good one. He probably would make a good Constantine.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of what movie that just was. But they pan out and they show his last name on the case that they're walking by. God damn it! It's one of the movies that was just released last year. I'm about to look this up real quick. Oh, and Logan.
Yeah.
So all right. So when the cleanup crew comes in Logan, they pan out. Okay, yeah, I've seen this dude actually.
Yeah, that's Booster Gold.
Yeah.
I think Brad Pitt could do that role.
Yeah, they kind of look alike.
Yeah.
But in Logan, when one of the end credit scenes when they're coming to clean up Logan's mess.
Yeah.
There's this guy in a suit that's dressed up in a case. Well, he has like a metal suitcase or a briefcase. It is, and it has Mr. Sinister's real name. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but his name is on the suitcase, on the briefcase.
Right.
So, and he's like rich and all that stuff, and yeah, dude. So I think the next villain is gonna be Mr. Sinister.
We'll see. Like the whole Fox thing is so screwed up. 'Cause now Logan takes place in the future. So are you gonna make those movies in the future, or are you gonna stay in the present with Deadpool? That's something you got to deal with. But we're going to start to bring this to a close. We're going to still keep talking because we got a full show. It'll be available tomorrow, which is Friday. I know this is unusual for you, but we'll be back on schedule next week.
Yeah, we got to talk about War of the Planet of the Apes on Monday.
And Game of Thrones.
And fucking Game of Thrones.
Gosh. Shit. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all right now. We're not going to spoil it, but if you see our social media, that's going to have spoilers in it.
I did the math, and we get like an extra 40 minutes of Game of Thrones, even though it's less hours.
Yeah.
If they're all an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, guys, I'm cool with that.
Brad was a superhero, Metro Man and Mega Man. That is true.
Yeah, but I want to see him actually acting this, not being a voiceover. We're not counting cartoons right here.
Right.
We're adults.
So, as we bring this to a close, we ask that you subscribe to the show. We got Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes. And if you own iTunes, make sure you go over there and review the show. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you'd like to see or hear. If you got a movie idea or even an idea for the Facebook discussion, because the Brad Pitt came from an audience member. That idea came from an audience. And I was like, that's a pretty dope one. So we went with it, and it worked. Jesse, you would show up at the end of the show, but
Thor is actually a good suggestion too. I can see him being Thor. Dog, to see Brad Pitt fucking Jack throwing a hammer around, that'd be kind of cool.
But also make sure you're watching this and check out social medias. Share this, spread the word out. Let people talk about this because the Brad Pitt was actually a good conversation. People were like, if you didn't like this movie from Brad, you don't know Brad. And I was like, yeah, what the fuck ever. But also,
don't know Brad. I know Brad.
Right. Also, donate, please. Check us out.
All right, so this is my old college buddy.
Yeah, I see that.
He's got that glorious blonde hair. Shout out to Tarek, man, for joining in.
Make sure you go to www.thesphere.com/donate.
Damn, man, you're reverting back to old Ziggy Numbnuts. Can't get right, bro.
Well, I'm looking at this screen.
Yeah, well, look at your mug that are on sale for $39.95 at thesphere.tv.
Yeah, I was trying to break down the screen options and
shameless plug.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the screen.
Here, do you need my glasses, bro? I got you.
Yeah, that's not.
It's squinting, man.
That's not glasses right there.
Here you go.
I'm good.
Oh, it's not glasses. Oh, God, it's a sticky icky. I get you.
Yeah. You're the one who goes to Colorado. Either way, make sure you come check.
My eyes are tight. That's natural. I was born that way.
Sure it is. But make sure you donate.
That's
and
racist.
Yeah.
We got people watching the show.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for checking us out. We're going to keep on talking, and we'll talk to you later. Yeah. I'm gonna interrupt your next ad.
No, dude, it's fine, man. I'm just laughing because that was funny.
I'm trying to get through it.
It's episode 28, and you still don't know our website.
Well, y'all constantly cut me off. Every time I get to subscribe, you cut me off. I get to review, you cut me off.
I just miss you, man. I hadn't talked to you in a while.
I couldn't even get to share.
You know what? Man. I'm just saying, man. It was I was just thrown off by that, you know?
Yeah, I was thrown off too.
Yeah, you know what? That's cool.
But
see, what I'm gonna do though is just keep on talking, and I'm just gonna talk louder and louder and like this portion of the shit.
I'm gonna show you like Bane Cat.
Yeah, he's gonna start playing music in the background and shit, and I'll probably laugh.
Right. But
sorry,
now,
sponsors.
Before we get to Spider-Man, obviously, because there was a miniseries on HBO, and I say this: you don't have to be a fan of hip hop. You don't have to be a fan of rock. If you're a fan of music, this is something you need to see.
If you're a fan of America. Hey, man. We just celebrated America's birthday not too long ago.
Y'all can't even see my face because the engineer was laughing too much. But anyways, the miniseries is called The Defiant Ones. It's on Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine. And this was one of the dopest docuseries I've ever seen. Like, seriously, like, how they...
It looks like he's sitting on his lap.
It does. Like, that's the first... When I look at it, I was like, does it sound like... But they're both sitting on stools. And yeah, I realized, like, these two made $1 billion deal. Like, we've never seen nothing like that in hip-hop. But it shows everything that happened for them to get up to that point.
Yeah.
Like, with Dre, you know, you get a lot of straight out of Compton stuff, but it also goes afterwards. You know, it also talks about the stuff that straight out of Compton wouldn't talk about.
See, and that's what I was curious about. And, I mean, we talked a little bit about it before the show, so I'm definitely going to tune in. But I just wanted to make sure before even diving into it that it wasn't going to be like a rehashing or an elaboration from, like, straight out of Compton. I'm like, you know, it's cool. This
is in depth. I mean, like I said, each episode, because I just finished the third one, which focuses a lot on Death Row.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, and you just watching this, and because you've always talked about For All Eyes on Me, you would have rather see it on HBO. After seeing what they did with Defiant Ones, you still think that's true that you'd rather see?
I feel more so about it now, yeah.
I mean, that's encouraging. That means I definitely want to watch it then.
Because, I mean, the way this is done is how Tupac's story should have been.
Yeah. So the raw grittiness of it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Get actual clips and interviews and stuff like that. And talk to people that he was involved with.
Instead of having fucking clips of people on Snapchat.
Right.
You know, when iPhones weren't even a thing yet.
I mean, talk to guys from Digital Underground and stuff like that. Talk to some of Biggie's old fans because they were friends. Him and Biggie were friends at one point. Yeah. So.
Dude, seeing their relationship fall apart would have been really cool to see too. And like in a documentary instead of like a drama style movie. Like, that would have been a whole lot cool, getting the facts and everything, especially with Suge Knight having that whole thing earlier in the year talking about, oh, these are the people that killed him and all this stuff and all that.
Like I said, The Defiant Ones is definitely something worth checking out. It's good. But speaking on, like I said, the crazy thing with the Pac and Biggie thing, you know, they were friends, they fell out. But I heard one of Pac's last interviews. I listened to Sway in the Morning, pretty much. Shouts out to DB, Sway, the whole crew. But Pac in the interview basically said, you know, that's my homie. Look, yeah, we're going to be, but friends fight. Yeah. He was like, that's what we're going to do. Sometimes it's going to be like that. I still got love for him.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that always gets lost when, especially with hip-hop beats and stuff, is like, yo, shit happens. Like, I mean, hell.
We going to have disagreements. It happens in marriage, happens in friendships, happens with your parents, happens with your brothers. It's going to happen.
You might even fight a nigga or two.
Bitch. And I got you now.
As soon as I was going into our shameless plug, this motherfucker here. So,
how's it taste, motherfucker?
It'll get you drunk. Man, let me get through this before I get fired by Gary. Boy, he'll be getting his little laugh on, but you know, he's like, hey, it's that time again. So this portion of the show has been brought to you by The Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, Get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789, or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. You guys couldn't see what was going on, but he held up a picture of Dave Chappelle, a screenshot at the bar, trying to sell Samuel Jackson's.
Good motherfucking choice.
Dog, right now, man, like my hair looks just like that. Look crazy, dude. This humanity's got me look like a damn poodle, and that looks just like that. Oh man, but yeah, Elijah, what you clapping for, dog? Don't make me jump across this table. Jacked up on Samuel Jackson's.
No, I can't stop yelling.
That's how I talk. Haven't you seen my movies?
Juice. That was a good one.
Deep Blue Sea. A shark ate me. That's probably like one of my favorite episodes from the whole
but
thing.
I mean, we'll never have nothing like that on TV ever
No,
again.
man. Did you ever see his stand-up specials?
Yes.
I'm still like, I keep teetering back and forth on like if I liked them, if I didn't like them.
I
like,
loved them.
It's just that.
Especially the little skit when he talks about taking his son to go see Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
like, yeah, nigga, I do this too.
Yeah. Then he had a Samuel Jackson moment, bro.
Right.
Shit. I feel like that was a missed opportunity for him to like crack open a Samuel Adams, but have like his picture on the front of it.
I mean, but like I said, Dave right now is on fire. He's got the whole Radio City Music Hall thing going right now.
Yeah.
Like,
man, you saw him live too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pissed I was traveling that day, but
And from what I'm hearing, like even right now, people who saw him early in the year, what he's doing now is completely different.
of course.
He's changing each almost stand up almost every month, they say, because he's just writing.
No, we're gonna have a piece on Dave Chappelle, man, because it's like, dog, that's one of the greatest comedians.
It is.
And
Movie's not, well, Half Baked is great.
no, his movies, like his movie cameo, like, he didn't really have any like too memorable like full on roles besides like Half Baked, but you know him and Nutty Professor.
Yes.
We're gonna save this for episode 30.
Oh, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. He was at you.
That's right.
He was at you.
Dude, my favorite scenes at the end of it. He's like, "I'll call them Johns." Where he's talking about the toilets and Prince John.
Yeah.
I love that movie. That movie was fucking goofy as shit. But,
Oh, man.
dog, but so Spider-Man, man.
Spider-Man.
Holy shit.
Right. We're not going to spoil this. Well, I'm only going to have to say one thing. There's only going to be one little spoiler, but it's not going to be that significant. And I had to get this out the way. But you go online, everyone's talking about this because it was a big thing. Now, Kevin Feige, before the movie came out, says, you do know about the Black Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yeah.
He says Miles Morales will definitely be in the MCU. Donald Glover's character is the Prowler. But it's not the Prowler from Peter Parker's universe. He's the Prowler from Miles Morales' universe.
And it's crazy because if you don't watch it closely, when they flash his criminal record
it
on there, and
says
it says the Prowler. I was like,
And then at one point, he's Donald Glover's character says, "Yeah, I got this nephew."
yeah, I don't want them
And
weapons in his
So
neighborhood.
that's the most spoiler you're gonna get out of us.
Yeah.
Like everything else,
Well,
we're not gonna.
I've got a small one.
Oh my gosh,
This
come
one ain't
on,
that bad. This one ain't bad. It's not like a huge plot thing for this movie, but it's
Yeah.
the setup for
Yeah.
further on down the line. But and actually, I think you brought this to my attention.
Yeah,
But yeah, when they're selling the tower, because they've been talking about getting rid of that tower forever, and I like to tie into the new building.
yeah.
And they show it. Cause so one thing that's really cool about this movie is that, just so you guys know, it's not a fucking origin story. Which
It's
is
not.
dope, which is
And the
totally cool.
way it's weaved into the MCU is
Yeah, they
ridiculous.
did that. Yeah, they did such a great. Even like the opening montage is dope.
Like-
But they literally, it's like
You get
don't-
stuff from the Avengers, the
Yeah.
first Avengers movie. You get stuff from Civil War.
and they like show you kind of what he was doing. Like, so that way, like now we have a specific timeline, and it's like that's something that we kind of missed in like all the movies. Is, like,
Right.
What the timeline is. Like we know that for like the Accords, like what you call
Yeah. Well, in Civil War, you see Tony Stark meet him, and the next thing you know, Peter Parker's there at the airport
yeah.
taking the shield.
Yeah.
You get to see what happens between the meeting with Tony Stark all the way up.
Yeah,
and it's worth watching.
This was like the first Marvel movie that didn't feel like a giant commercial to me for everyone else's movies.
Well,
it was like you had some that sprinkled in, and I think they've been trying to play with how to have these transitions to set up in other movies. Like, right. I mean, in this one, they've set this one up great because, you know, now we know who's buying Avengers, like the Avengers Tower, and that's Oscorp.
Yeah.
But we don't know exactly how that's going to play because, as you mentioned to me, he didn't meet Harry Osborn until later on in high school.
Right.
And he's a sophomore. It's the little subtle things.
It's so many little subtle things. But the thing I always said was, this feels like a complete Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I will say this. Tobey Maguire gave me a great Peter Parker.
When he started out, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think early on, all the way down to Venom.
I take
like
the third. Yeah.
Dancing shit that he was
doing. No,
doing.
count the third one out because even the director said he didn't want to do that one. That was the studio pushing him. Because he actually had plans for a fourth one.
Yeah.
But after that third one, he did not like what the studio did, and that's why he quit. And that's why we didn't get a fourth Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire, I didn't like starting out. Like Spider-Man, he didn't really.
But he was a good Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He made a good Peter Parker college and after. Andrew Garfield.
Dude, I mean, he's Spider-Man, dog.
He's
Spider-Man.
He had a good Spider-Man. I hated his Peter Parker.
Really?
Because Peter Parker was not likable.
Yeah.
Peter Parker was awkward.
Dude, but this kid was awkward as shit.
Andrew Garfield, he's the likable, he's the valedictorian, he's the cool kid.
Oh, wait, Andrew Garfield, you're not talking about...
Yeah, this one had it perfect.
My bad. Yeah. I don't even count it, that whole shit with Andrew Garfield and all that stuff. Like, that wasn't a real Spider-Man to me, just like you said.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It just...
And then that one with fucking Jamie Foxx in there and all that shit.
Right.
With Electro, those were all a disaster. I actually, up until I saw this movie, there was a clip that came out that showed all the people that played Spider-Man. Yeah. I totally forgot about those Spider-Man. For me, it was Tobey Maguire, and then now this. I was like, nice. It's good.
Right.
That dude actually, Garfield probably would have made a decent Flash.
He probably would have.
He actually looks like that's what he looks like to me. But dog, the digs that they were throwing in this movie to DC,
everybody.
Oh man, like, I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but like the whole reference to the Flash in here, ain't calling him dumb. Like, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, there's reference
and the Invisible Jet.
Now, another thing about this movie that absolutely makes it stands out. One of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton.
Oh man, he's chilling, and in this particular scene,
that was such a cool scene, and he played
a favor. Right. What do you say?
Right. I mean,
but the biggest thing that stood out to me was this whole movie was that because every time we get a series reboot, it's always an origin story,
right?
And this time they literally start off like in the thick of things. Like, he's already had some big battles, and he's trying
to deal with it. Like, this is a kid who's excited, like, oh, I done got a big battle. And everyone's like, just calm down, bro.
Yeah. Like, and then hear him breeze past his story because he's like, obviously from the commercials you can tell, like, his friend finds out.
Yeah.
And he's like, how'd you get? He's like, a spider bit me. He's like, oh, can I get bit too? He's like, no, the spider's dead. And he just moves on.
Right.
And like, I feel like that was like a dig towards the last movies that kept going back and revisiting the story. Cause he's like, no, fuck that. Right. We're not even going that route. We're just pressing through. Like,
right.
It was good. It was just like they paid such close attention to detail, with little and subtleties and shit like that. Like, even with like, so everybody. So I was actually talking to my girl, and we were trying to figure out who Zendaya's character was. Because they never gave you her name, not through the movie, not when they were talking up to it and all this.
Well,
stuff.
I knew her name was Michelle.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't know that. I didn't know that shit, and like we were trying to figure out when what's her name, Grace. Fuck. Not Mary Jane, but his other chick that he has a crush on.
Gwen
Stacy. When Gwen Stacy comes in, we're trying to figure out who that was. They won't say her name throughout the whole movie, and then you say Michelle, and you're like, oh, I guess Gwen Stacy comes later then. Same thing with like this little crush on with Liz and everything.
Now, yeah, that's what I want to see how it plays out. If they're gonna do Gwen, where just go straight to MJ. Because in the comic books, Peter Parker's a bit of a player.
Mm-hmm. He's an awkward player.
Well, no. as he grows up, like,
he's still awkward though.
It's just
still a nerd.
I mean, he's nerdy, but he's just women after women after women.
Well, dog, man, he's got fucking 6-packs.
But I'm glad, like I said, this was something. And Fox, please talk to the MCU. You see what Sony did, and you see how well it's working.
Yeah, so let them take over X-Men.
Don't even just partner up, because it's still technically a Sony movie.
Yeah,
it's more Sony than it is MCU. But Sony said, "Look, we need y'all.
Well, I mean, whatever they did, I think this has been one of the best Marvel Universe movies.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like I said, it didn't feel like a huge commercial. The story was extremely well written. The casting was spot on.
It got away from that formula that the MCU is starting to use now in every intro movie.
Mm-hmm.
It got away from that.
Yeah, and I mean, even the whole like setting up the storyline, like we've never seen how like them take a movie and break off to show you events. 'Cause, like one of the things people always talk about when they're critiquing MCU movies is that so the Avengers weren't called when Iron Man was off doing this and all this other shit, and you're like, well, what were they doing? And then now you got Spider-Man, and it's like, oh, doing this. I was over here doing this, and doing this. I was over here doing this, and blah blah blah. And like it tied in the movies, at least from his perspective, pretty well. And I'd like to see them do that with more movies, but we're probably not, since we're about to get the Infinity Wars, which is
so definitely. Like I tell anyone, it is worth going to see at night in 3D.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. I actually left out. I was thinking, man, this probably would have been a decent movie to see in 3D.
It is.
For sure.
It is. I saw it in 3D. Now, actually, a couple of friends have not seen it, so I said, I'm off tomorrow. If you want to go, we can go. So we're all going to see Spider-Man, and I have no problem seeing it again. It's that good of a movie.
Absolutely, absolutely. But, while we're at it, talking about going to events with friends and everything, we want to shout out to another one of our sponsors. That's 3 Hues. Come paint, sip, and party with 3 Hues. Join a party or book your own private event for kids or adults. Let 3 Hues help you create your masterpiece on canvas step by step. A painting party is perfect for any occasion. A church function, wedding showers, team building, raves, Girl Scout earning their badge, date night, birthdays, or any time you just want to have fun. Ask them about their summer camp program, kids clubs, special events, and wine glass painting events. Did we mention that 3 Hues is mobile too? Yes, you can go to the studio or they can come to you. Visit their website today, 3HughesHouston.com.
Boom.
Boy, I've got nerves of steel. He's over here still trying to mess with me and mess me up.
I think, like I said, we need
laser focused.
Like I said, maybe in the fall or something, we need to hit them up and just paint and drink.
Oh, we should do it for one of the Game of Thrones, because there's so many Game of Thrones drinking games out there.
And maybe she'll have us draw like sigils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Nerdy as fuck, but I'm totally down.
I am not painting a flat. I'm not doing. Was it not Tully? Not Tully. Who's the flowers? House. Marjorie and them.
It's Tully. No, that's not. They're
Tully was fish.
Tar.
High Garden.
No, they're not. No, they're
Tyrell.
Yeah.
House Tyrell.
There we go.
Yeah.
That was bad. We need to go to that
because there's more houses now. We got
Yeah.
more houses, and we'll be dealing with a lot of extra houses in this new season. The House Dundarian, we'll see more. House Mormont. I rose with the little Lady Mormont.
Dog, she's such a little firecracker.
I rose with Lady Mormont.
Dog, she's straightened out all of them. I rewatched the episode, the last episode a couple days ago, and I was just sitting there like, man, that little girl's badass.
You did not answer the call.
I've got 7 men. Like, what?
But they're worth 10 each.
Yeah. Dog, so now, did you catch these, like some of these? Here's something, all right, just going back to Spider-Man, something I just can't stand. The MCU's been around for what, 10 years now?
Yeah.
9 years? How the hell do you still get up at the first sign of the movie's over? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, it's like shit.
These are people who eat Kit Kat sideways.
They put the milk in first into their bowl of cereal.
Right.
Yeah. I saw this one. It was like with Pop-Tarts, and they eat them like a sandwich.
Yeah.
And like,
that's what they do.
Yeah. I just don't understand. It's like, what was the last DC movie that we saw? I mean, MCU movie that we saw. MCU movie. And they had 3 end credits.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy had 3 end credits. And you don't think this one's going to have 1?
Like, you stay till the lights come on with the MCU.
Yeah. Dude, that's funny because they got you on this one. I don't want to ruin this one. The last one's funny.
Make sure you stay for the end credits for Spider-Man.
Did you notice how long they made them this time, too? It was like the end credits were substantially longer.
Well, it's a lot more collaboration.
Yeah, I was reading a lot of stuff.
You got two studios now working together.
Oh, they had 1 credit on there. It was the title. So they had the person's name right here scrolling down and everything. Yeah. They had like what he did. his credited role was Best Boy Grip.
Yeah, Best Boy Grip.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I
was like, what the hell does that mean?
Oh crap! I used to know what the Best Boy Grip was. I think he's the boom mic. The guy who else works the boom.
Oh, he got the boomstick?
Yeah.
He's got the boomstick. Gotcha.
Now, we got 2 trailers to talk about.
Yes,
First
we do.
one, it's a show that honestly I didn't think it was going to be this good. We're going into season 3 now of this show, and it's a cool show to see. And that's Ballers with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I just want to point out that this is severe oversight for you to think that something that The Rock's going to be in is not going to be fucking pimp.
Well,
he's going to be president in the next 4 years. Like, do you not realize this?
The Rock Obama.
Yeah, The Rock Obama. Bro, but even his shit with Jumanji, like everything this dude's been touching has been gold, and it's like because of him.
Well, Baywatch didn't do as well.
Well, Baywatch is suffering the same thing that a lot of these other popcorn flicks are suffering from. People being influenced too much by what Rotten Tomatoes and everything says, because it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like, oh, this movie's gonna win all these awards. It's an entertaining ass movie.
It's supposed to be an entertaining movie.
Yeah, but it's funny because how do you let a show that's been doing so well go and leave Miami because y'all don't want to give them a tax break? They're bringing so much money to you guys.
Like, honestly, I don't understand it, but it goes with the show though. With the thing, like they're moving with it, and I'm like, Miami. But you know how many movies and shows now are in Atlanta?
A lot because of the tax breaks.
Right.
Atlanta got smart. They're like, you know what? LA's getting too big headed. They don't want to get out these tax breaks.
Right.
Shit. Miami's where people want to go, but now they're not doing either. You know what? We got all this open land, and we need to change our image anyways because Confederate flags all over the place. Come here. Come to Georgia.
But like I said, if you haven't checked out Ballers, definitely check it out. They're 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, but I mean they're hilarious, dude. And like the story and the writing is actually good. The actors are great. Like,
and this is stuff like talking to some people. Like he says, stuff like this happens with NFL players.
Yeah,
for real. So it's definitely something you want to check out.
It's like a more fun Entourage to me.
Thank you. Yeah. And here's the thing, like I said, you can binge an entire season in a day easily.
In like 4 hours, it's done. Whole season done, and it's like laugh out loud shit.
Right. It's got its serious moments, and they do them well.
Yeah.
And they place them well.
I'm just like, be a part of history, man. We're watching our next president on TV.
The Rock Obama.
Every time I say that, though, I always think of Idiocracy.
Yeah.
With when Terry Crews was the president, he was a wrestler.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a movie y'all need to check out too, because we're getting really close to it.
Yeah, we're pretty much there. The only thing we haven't done is starting to water plants with Gatorade, but I wouldn't be surprised if people were out there. But the thing that tripped me out though, this is also an interesting role to see The Rock play somebody who's like a funny character,
yeah,
but also kind of a dick.
Yeah,
and like I feel like this is probably how he is in real life.
Yeah, it's fun. It's weird, but I got a feeling he's not.
Maybe not so much on the asshole side, but I feel like he's like not as goofy as like some of these roles he's played. He might be a goofy, but not like all the time. I feel like he's kind of a chiller dude.
I think he's more of a chill guy than more goofy. But like I said, this rule, and like I said, because his character you won't always like in the show.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing, and it shows some range that maybe one of his F&F co-stars never learned to do. Oh, and I found out they are getting a spinoff.
Really?
Yeah, Hobbs and Jason Statham's character.
That might actually be a good series. Like, no joke. I know as much as you hate Fast and the Furious. No, but bro,
that's gonna be a good series because it's gonna be the brothers and Hobbs.
That's what's gonna actually. It's gonna be both the brothers and
Hobbs.
No, I forgot the guy who plays Statham's brother on that one. But I just watched like the first 20 minutes of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
and he plays Gaston.
Yeah,
I can't stand that movie, dog. I watched 20 minutes of it and I was like,
it's okay.
But and we got one more trailer to go.
Yes. Now this show came out last summer and it was one of the biggest surprise hits for HBO. HBO instantly renewed it for I think 2 or 3 more seasons, and that is Insecure. Insecure to me is almost sort of like it's a show about real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, we always talk about we tired of the drug dealers, we tired of scandals and all that. We're tired of the same narrative slaves. This is
broken homes, all that shit, you know.
These are basically middle class, you know, people who are working like us.
Yeah. For people who don't know what your average black person acts like,
this is a show.
Your average black person. they're just like every other average ass human being.
Right. And this is a show like
awkward ass.
She shows how awkward she is trying to date.
Mm-hmm.
Issues she had with the relationship. Like the first season was dope, and the ending of that first season is just like you can still argue with people about that ending to this day. And I'm gonna still say she was more wrong than he was. And I'm gonna leave it at that. If you try to disagree,
fuck off.
Go suck a chimpanzee's nutsack. I don't care.
Oh, dog. You got to take it to the rock, man. Go suck on a monkey's nipple. Old school dog. All right. Just because I'm going to send this to all of y'all out there. Maybe I'll post this on Facebook again, but there was that made me think of the WWE, you know, speaking of the rock. But I just recently came across this clip of Macho Man Randy Savage talking about how he's the cream. Yeah. Dog, if y'all haven't seen this, it's one of the funniest things on the internet right now. And the tagline on it is that cocaine was just better in the 80s, and he's just tripping the fuck out.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, and he's sitting there, he's pulling out these little packets of cream and putting them, like bouncing them on his head and shit. So, I mean, we both know where we're going. You know, we got up for this weekend.
Yeah.
War of the Planet of the Apes.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, man, there's so many good movies still have to come out this summer. I mean, this month alone. Atomic Blonde. Man.
Dunkirk.
Dog. Dunkirk is going to be intense. That's going to be the next movie that we all ride out to go see because...
Well, heck, that's next weekend.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. We can do it next weekend.
I'm just ready to get like this anxiety I've had about this movie from that trailer we saw at Wonder Woman.
It's what Christopher Nolan does. Like,
he can build intensity.
Even his trailers make you want to go see his movies. I remember I saw the trailer for Interstellar. People was like, "Oh, he's doing space." I'm like, "It's fucking space. Do you not? Isn't Christopher Nolan?"
Yeah, and it was one of those things where I was like, "Dog, Christopher Nolan does a lot of research. He actually brings like science researchers onto his thing."
Right.
When they interviewed,
well, you know, this is his first movie ever in all of his movies because you know he's been making movies since the '90s. First movie he's ever done off a historical event.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is that I know it's going to be good because I mean, even like I said, with Interstellar, like I was saying, was that Neil deGrasse Tyson came on there and said, "Yo, this movie is one of the most scientifically accurate movies you can see."
Right.
So you know something that really happened is going to be historically accurate and be crazy. And that's what the part that makes it even more intense is that these people actually went through this shit.
Right. like with Christopher Nolan, here's the thing. Like one of my board, like say I'm sick for a weekend or something like that, you know, allergies or sinuses. His marathon is one of the first ones I consider.
Yeah.
Because I consider The Prestige.
No, and that was one of my favorite like movies when I was younger. I can't say as a kid, when I was younger.
It was dope, and people slept on that movie. It was a really dope movie.
See, the only thing with that movie was that there was The Prestige, and then there was another magician movie that came out right around the same time. But
The Illusionist.
The Illusionist, yeah.
Yep.
And those
with,
two,
Edward Norton.
And those two were a little similar, kind of. And I always confused when I'm talking about a mix up which one is which.
Well, the thing is, The Illusionist is more of a love story. Because, you know, he finds his childhood love and as an adult and all that. The Prestige is more about competition.
Absolutely.
Like,
there's no disputing that, but like the kind of role that was being played. And it's like Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman in The Prestige, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and they competed over women in that.
At one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to me, The Prestige was more about, like, I'm the better magician.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole motivation behind it. It's like,
gosh. Like, and that's the cool thing about Nolan, too, because it seems like once an actor works with him, they want to go back to work with him.
Well, he does that same thing that like comics do, and they find like the chemistry and the mix that works.
Right.
They use that same mix over and over again. It's something that's always been mind-boggling to me is that when you're a director and you know for these specific roles, why wouldn't you use the same actor who's already proven that? Yo,
well,
this
I mean, a lot of them do. You know, Scorsese has DiCaprio. Was it Zemeckis and Spielberg have Tom Hanks?
Ugh. I'm not a fan of Tom Hanks.
He's got some good stuff. He's been It's a whole bunch of guys though.
Yeah.
But now you think about Christopher Nolan. He works a lot with Christian Bale, Michael Caine. I think this is the first movie since before The Prestige that Michael Caine isn't in. Michael Caine's been in every movie.
I was trying to see where he was in Interstellar, but I forgot he worked at NASA.
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see, but Cillian Murphy.
Now that's what I'm excited about because you watch Peaky Blinders.
I've seen.
Oh man,
I've seen.
dude,
It's one of the shows I want to sit down and watch.
You've got to.
But I've been a fan of his since 28 Days Later.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. So I've been a fan of his. He was in that Justin Timberlake movie In Time. He had a pretty cool role. That was actually a decent movie.
Yeah, he also played a drug dealer in I think The Faculty. Is that? I think he's in The Faculty.
I think
There's
so.
some movie where he was a drug dealer and he was selling some bullshit drugs, and I just
But
see it.
Nolan is just one of those directors. When I see that he's putting something out, I'm automatically interested.
Yeah, just like Michael Bay.
I can't even say that. I have to take a pause.
He got punched in the stomach. No, so all right. So speaking of gimmicky and not great directors, but I just watched Star Trek over again with J.J. Abrams. That first one was so good.
The first one was dope.
But they've declined. Beyond, like, Star Trek Beyond was okay. The second one kind of was garbage though, which is crazy because they had Benedict Cumberbatch in there.
Yeah,
That's a horrible name.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yo, I was watching Jimmy Fallon and they were talking about he's got his fan club that calls himself the Cumber Bitches.
Yeah. They call themselves the Cumber Bitches.
I was like, where are the feminists at on this one?
They're probably in Europe. They don't.
Yeah.
You know how Europeans and Americans operate in a total different.
Heck, we're a
spectrum.
land founded by Puritans. Puritanical bastards.
Now, there's also a show I watch. It's I guess you can call it reality TV because it's based in fact. It's called Adam. It's called Adam Ruins Everything. Where he takes a
yeah, the dude with the glasses.
Yeah, and he takes the
he's fucking
subject
hilarious.
and he breaks down each subject. Like one of the things he broke down is like the whole marriage thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, ladies, I'm finna just go ahead and tell y'all this. The whole marriage thing, the engagement ring, was a campaign that started by the Beers. It wasn't a tradition. That just started in like 1940s.
Mm-hmm.
He said otherwise people just got married.
Where did that come from?
They were trying to push the diamonds.
But where did that come from, though? I'm totally lost. How it got on.
Well, like I said, he takes stuff that you think you know
Yeah.
and shows you like, no, this is why that. Like, apple a day keeps the smile away. That was started because the apple.
Doctor away.
Well, yeah, it keeps the doctor away. Apple smile, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that all started because the apple farmers weren't making as much money on cider. So they were trying to push apples by themselves.
Didn't know that. The more you know.
And that's the little stuff that he does.
So you're watching out more stuff by him this weekend?
Well, I mean, me and my lady, we did a little marathon. And it was some of the stuff I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I really dislike Disney right now.
No, the racism?
Well, the copyright.
Speaking of Disney.
Eminent domain.
Yeah.
That's all I said. Watch, if you get the chance to watch it, it's going to be Adam Ruins Summer Fun.
I'll take a look at it tonight. But before we wrap out, I do want to say this about Disney because it's something that's like fresh. So they're doing a live action of Aladdin with Guy Ritchie being the director.
Yeah.
Right now they're coming under fire because they've just interviewed 2,000 actors and they can't find an Indian or a Middle Eastern actor who can sing and dance.
Riz,
Have y'all not seen a Bollywood movie?
Riz, the guy, he's been in everything. He was in Lion. He was in Slumdog.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
He dances.
Don't let me down, guy. And Will Smith is playing the genie. That's the last thing I got to say.
What?
But think about it, though. You might do all right. I mean, sure you do all right. But
I'd rather wait because they're doing the live action Lion King. Like how how they did the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
They're gonna do the Lion King that way.
We'll see.
Because we talked about it. Because Donald Glover is Simba.
Oh, yeah, we did miss that. Damn. 28 shows in, dude.
Yeah, man.
Fuck, we made it. Mama, we made it. But I guess it's our show.
What's really you and that mic?
I was about to start singing, y'all, crooning. I was about to
intimate moments.
Well, I'm just saying, dude, I could play Aladdin. I could play Aladdin.
You actually probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I've got the street rat look going on. Hair's all over the place.
All right.
The Sphere mugs on the Sphere.tv, $39.99. Support your local actors. This guy never had an acting role in my life.
Make sure you check out this episode that drops on Friday. And don't worry, we'll be back to regular schedule next week because we have to talk about these movies and shows. It's going to be big.
Oh, man, this is a great weekend.
Yeah.
Big weekend.
Big weekend. Make sure you go to www.thesphere.tv.
You got it right.
Check out past episodes. Check out other shows because, heck, I'm pretty sure I was talking to Kareem over at the Boom Bap earlier today. I was like, dude, the Defiant ones is real shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, that was one of the best things he saw in a while. So don't be surprised you hear it on the upcoming episode of the Boom Bap. So all that's there, the Money Factor, the new show, G is for Gents.
Yeah, go ahead and check that out because a lot of you guys out there, man, I've seen y'all dress very questionably. Like, get out there. Get your game up. They got some good information.
Especially your suit games, man.
Yeah.
You're not 18.
Oh, man, that Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor shit. That's what that made me think of. No, Conor McGregor had a suit that it was a pinstripe suit, but it said "fuck you" all over.
Yeah, I know.
That was great.
Yeah. But anyways, thanks for checking us out. We'll see you next week, and we'll be talking about all sorts of good shit.
Hell yeah.
Later.